You won't believe how crucial proper hydration is to your health. Hi, I'm Debbie Sadify, and especially those of us focused on cancer resilience and overall health. In this session, we are going to explore why hydration is so important, the various ways to stay hydrated, and we're going to touch on the different types of water that are available. Water is essential for so many of our bodily functions. It helps us for detoxification. It helps to carry nutrients to our cells. It is helpful in regulating our body temperature. So you could kind of think of water as the oil that keeps our body's engine running smoothly. And staying hydrated is also key to maintaining our energy levels and our cognitive function. If you are dehydrated, it can lead to fatigue, headaches, and difficulty concentrating. So if you want to stay sharp and energized, you need to drink up. Now, hydration also plays a crucial role in supporting our immune system. Proper hydration ensures that our organs function correctly and can effectively fight off infections and illnesses. So, how much water do you drink each day? And do you feel that it's enough? Some of the common signs of dehydration, not hydration, but dehydration include having a dark urine, dry mouth, fatigue, dizziness, and less frequent urination. The other thing that happens is as we age, our thirst reflex becomes weaker, making us less likely to feel thirsty even when our bodies are needing water. That means that as we age, it is more important to watch for these signs and ensure that we're getting adequate hydration. So as we age, we become more susceptible to being dehydrated, and it's essential for us to be proactive about drinking water and other hydrating beverages, even if you don't feel thirsty. So have you noticed any signs of dehydration? Have you had dry mouth, dark urine, or fatigue that might be caused by dehydration? Just think about that. We also are going to look here now at, it's not just about going and getting water, it goes beyond water. You can become dehydrated by eating the proper food. So if you eat water-rich foods, that you can hydrate with those. So did you know that there are foods that will keep us hydrated? Foods like cucumber, watermelon, strawberries have high water content, and getting some of these in your diet can help you meet your hydration needs. And I have this cool little chart that I'm going to show you now about hydration. And here are some hydrating foods. These are all, there's a chart on the axis, I guess it's the x-axis for those of us who remember um, our math, is the percentage of water content. So all of these have high water content, running up to around 90 and up. Cucumbers are really high. There's watermelon, strawberries, oranges, lettuce, and that includes all lettuces, but not iceberg lettuce. So iceberg lettuce, although it has high water content, has very little nutritional value. So choose other ones like romaine is good. And there's tons of different lettuces. But the last choice should be iceberg because even though it's got a lot of water content, it doesn't have much nutrition. Now, cantaloupe is always also good. Peaches, and where I'm from, peaches are totally in season right now. They are really great to have. Zucchini is high in water content, celery as well, and tomatoes. So those are just a few foods that you can add. If you don't like water, you can always have some of these foods to help with your hydration levels. And and you know, I think cucumbers and watermelon are great snacks in the summer, so keep those in mind. You can also get hydration from homemade juices that are made from vegetables and adding some fruits for the sweetness. These are great ways to stay hydrated, but be careful because unlike store-bought juices, which can be loaded with sugars and lack in nutrients, the fresh juices, if you're making them fresh, will still retain their natural vitamins and minerals. You can try blending a mix of greens, like adding some spinach and kale, to a bit of apple and cucumber to get a refreshing and hydrating juice drink. And I love using cucumber in my juices because it does provide a lot of liquid in the juice. And it tastes good too. I'm not a crazy about eating cucumbers, but it's so much more refreshing in a juice or add it to your water to make your water more appealing. Now, apart from water, there are other beverages that you can keep you hydrated. Things like herbal teas, and especially looking at those that have no caffeine in them is a good option. You can use coconut water. It is another excellent choice and is also packed with electrolytes. Sparkling water is another great option to stay hydrated. Basically, it's water that's been infused with carbon dioxide gas under pressure, and it can be refreshing alternative to still water. Just be sure that you're choosing varieties that are without any added sugars or artificial flavors. And this is news that sings to my heart because I love sparkling water. I will drink that all day long over still water. And I did check into it because I actually had somewhere been told that sparkling water isn't good for you because of the carbon dioxide that's put into it. But here's the deal: sparkling water is just as hydrating as regular water and can help to increase your intake of water if you prefer it over still water like me. It's generally safe, but if you have issues with bloating or gas, this may cause problems for you. But there is research that shows that there's no significant harm uh, if it's plain carbonated water without any sugar or acids added to it. So, what is your go-to beverage for staying hydrated? Hmm. All right, so I wanted just to talk a little bit about the different types of water because we can get water in different ways. There's a bunch of different ones. So I wanted just to go through some of the waters and their pros and cons. So the first one is tap water. So tap water is very accessible. Well, I don't know if it's inexpensive anymore, but maybe compared to some other ways of having your water. And the thing is, though, that it does contain contaminants like chlorine. They use chlorine to purify the water, so it's really needed for the safety of the water, but it does provide us with contaminants. There's also potential for lead, other heavy metals, and fluoride as well in our water. So where we will talk about filtering the water as well. Bottled water is convenient and widely available. However, it can be expensive. They have environmental impacts due to the plastic waste if you have it in plastic bottles and the cost of transportation. And I used to be the manager of my daughter's soccer team. And every time we went to a field, people would bring their bottle of water. The girls would bring their water, and some of them would basically drink like two sips out of their water and leave their bottle of water at the field because it's so easy to get bottled water. You know, you can buy a big case of it. So they would think nothing of leaving it there. And a lot of times, before we could even play, I got a chance to clean off the bench from all the plastic that was left from the last team. So bottled water definitely has its issues. Now, there's spring water, which is good because it contains natural minerals, but also it can have contaminants, and it's another one that's expensive and probably has that environmental impact. And also, there's the cost of transportation to watch as well. Mineral water is rich in minerals like calcium and magnesium, but it can also be expensive and may not have the maybe that high mineral content is not suitable for everyone. Distilled water is highly purified on the plus side, which is good because it doesn't have all of those contaminants in it. However, it does lack the benefit of the minerals. So there's kind of a yin and yang going on here between these different waters. There is one of the newer water things is the alkaline water. It neutralizes our body acid and may improve our metabolism. It's another one that can be expensive. And the other thing is I think the jury is still out on what the benefits are of the alkaline water. They're still doing studies, and there hasn't been anything to really prove that alkaline water is good for us. So that is one where the jury is still out. Then there's filtered water, which removes the contaminants from our tap water. And definitely, if you get there's different ways to filter your water. If you actually filter the water through before it gets to you out of the tap, then that definitely is an investment. And there's some maintenance to it. I actually decided to filter my water by getting a carbon filter at the base of my house because then all my water, including what we use for showering and washing, etc., is filtered. And we also have the tap water has its own little contraption and thing. I was able to get mine. I rent mine, but it still was a pretty big ordeal to get it put in. But now it gives me peace of mind, and I really appreciate that. Okay. Okay. Now, I just want to, I guess, um, see if there's any questions now from about we're going to do some more on water. We're only scratching the surface today, but I don't know if there's any questions about what we've covered so far. Hey, Kathy.
I always
I
seem to have
always
a
seem to have a
question.
question. I love it.
I heard
Heard
that
that
carbonated
carbonated
water
water
contributed
contributed
to kidney
to kidney
stones
stones
or bladder
or bladder
stones, some kind
stones,
of
some kind of
stone.
stone.
You hadn't
You
heard
hadn't
that?
heard that? I haven't come across that in my research. I did. It's escaping me now. Of course, it's escaping me now, but I have come across something that contributes to kidney stones. And in some people, not in all people, but in some people. But that didn't come up in my research in terms of the carbonated water. I
Okay.
had heard before that the carbon, like the carbon dioxide, wasn't good for us. It was, but in the research that I've done, it seems that the problem with the carbon dioxide is the gas and bloating, if you get that.
Okay.
Uh, and I guess then we all get to decide that. I feel the water is a controversial topic because I think there's a lot of different schools of thought on what's the right water. So it's something that you, if you want, can research yourself and make your own decision about what's the right water for you. But if you're more likely to get your hydration in from your water because you're drinking carbonated water and you won't drink still water, then there's probably more benefit than harm in it. But everybody's going to get the opportunity to listen to what I'm saying, do your own research. We still have 2 more days where we're going to talk about water. It's a pretty big topic, I would think, considering, it's little old water. But I feel it's a complex topic and one that there's lots of different camps in terms of what's right and what's best for us. Uh, I hope that helps, and I'll see
It
if I
did.
can
Thank
find
you.
any more on the kidney stone thing.
Okay.
There was something,
It
for
might.
sure,
I,
there's
I
something that came across about the kidney stones, but it wasn't the carbonated water.
and I am drinking your spa water. I made it on Saturday, and it was so good, and it was so good on Sunday. And I just refilled the I just refilled the jars. But today, I think the third day is the limit, because it tastes half as good as it did yesterday. So it's really, so I think 3 days, if people want to keep it and refill it like I did, I think 3 days might be the limit.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I did 2 days. The cucumbers were starting to look soggy after 2 days. But that's also a good point that there's another way that you can have your water. You don't have to have it plain. Now, even if you're having still water, you can add some things to it. We did our detoxifying water by adding cucumber, lemon, and mint to it. You can add, and what you let it infuse. I found that letting it infuse with the lemon for a longer period of time, I could really taste the lemon. In the shorter time, the cucumber has more taste in the water, more flavor. And you can also do other things like put some fruit in and whatever it is that will help you to feel like you're getting that water and makes it more palatable for you rather than drinking sugary drinks that are like pop and fruit juices or fruit drinks that are packed with sugar on purpose so that you will become addicted to them. And they really have no benefit for us at all. And they're causing more harm than good for sure. But if you can find some way to make your water more palatable, if you don't like drinking water, but one of the ways is just to start drinking it and acquiring a taste for it too. That's another thing. All right. Any other questions?
Not at this time.
All right. So, to wrap it up, hydration is very crucial for our health, our energy, our immune function. There are many ways for us to stay hydrated beyond just drinking water. We can eat water-rich foods, enjoy other hydrating benefits, add our fruits and our vegetables to our water to infuse it. And so tomorrow we are going to explore more about the types of water and discuss the best sources of water filters and the present evidence from research. And this is an important subject because, as I mentioned, there's lots of misinformation out there. So you won't want to miss this. And I want to thank you for joining me today. Remember to stay hydrated, make informed choices about your hydration, stay resilient, and we'll see you tomorrow.